You're listening to Lyfe and Shyt. I'm Daneyel Walker.
And I'm Tommy Walker.
Join us as we talk about our journey overcoming fears, boundaries, marriage, family, lifestyle, business, and whatever other shit you can think of.
We're individuals that came together to create one unit with one mind and one goal. This topic for today is super funny. I got a question for you. Have I ever called you fat?
Called me fat?
Yeah.
No, never. I would say you haven't said the words "you are fat," but in a roundabout way, you have told me I probably could lose to a couple of pounds, but you didn't say it in that way. You told me that you couldn't see my elbows anymore. Your exact words were, "Dang, girl, I can't see your elbows anymore."
How long ago was that?
That was probably, over 15 years ago.
So when we first met, I was in the military, and I had the military lifestyle activities and always working out. I was working out with the SEAL team, so I felt some kind of way. I was that guy, right? So trying to keep that momentum going. I've always felt like physical health and working out was a thing, right? That was part of my life.
Yeah, very much so. And before I ran track and I ran cross country, so I was very physical. I like to run. I like to stay physical. But after having children and kind of getting comfortable in life, kind of physical activities kind of got away from me. So
as a married couple, and we both have this individuality coming into a relationship. I'm military. I have this military background and lifestyle and working out. And then you're a sports enthusiast, college, running, volleyball was your thing.
Love volleyball, yes.
And then we get together and we're not doing none of that shit.
Yeah, we just stop.
Yeah,
everything
goes out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, because of what was happening, right? Like where we met and it wasn't a very active part. But it came to a point in life where, like you just said, where's your elbows at?
Right. And I will say you didn't say it maliciously. You didn't say it like, oh, at least I didn't feel it. But it did make me take notice of my elbows. Like, oh my gosh, my elbow is disappearing. I didn't ever even notice this. So this is something I should probably take notice of, and I didn't like it. Which
is a communication thing, right? It was like, I'm trying to communicate, right, and be thoughtful in my communication, because I want my wife to be, by all means, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want my wife to be a certain way that is different from the way you look when you met, right? Like when we first met, it was like, yo, this is cool. This is what.
Well, when we first met, I was not a skinny girl. I was I had a little bit of weight on me, but I still had elbows. I will say I definitely still had elbows. And I will also say you never made me feel unattractive. Not one time in my not overweight, but my extra weight that I had.
But one thing though, I did say you can never be past where I met you. Like that was dropped. Like I don't give a shit about anything else. I don't. If you don't work out another day in your life, as long as we understand where the bottom is. Yes. Like yo, at the end of the day, this is the bottom, and we have that picture for proof. Like this is when we got married.
Yes.
like hey, homie, if you go past this mark, then it's gonna be a different conversation. And I think I was very serious in that communication as well.
Yes, you were. And you know, as mean as it sounds that you're saying it right now, the way you presented it was not bad. It was just very much like, okay, babe, I just stay where you are. Don't ever get past this weight. And I mean, like, you're perfect, just like that. And I was almost at 200 pounds. So yeah. that means a lot. That means a lot to me. I love you for that.
So what changed? So like we said, we're individuals that came into this relationship, and now, things change, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, physical health, just being healthy overall, eating healthy, being more active. What changed? I know, because you went 1,000 miles per hour once we had that conversation?
Right.
And what was different? Like tell that story.
What changed was I started to walk. That's what I tell anyone now. I did something very simple. I just started to walk. I walked 1 block a day. And I mean, this is coming from someone who ran track and ran cross country. I did 3 miles at a time, but I started by just walking, simply walking. From that, we started selling Herbalife, and that's sprawled me on this healthy journey as well. Well, I wasn't trying to plug them, but, you know, it was one of the first things that we ever sold. And it just happened to be something healthy. And they had all these pills. And if I was going to sell them, then I wanted to take them. And from that kind of like sparked my health kick. Mm-hmm. From there, we started going to the gym.
That's very true. So honest, I forgot all about that because that is like one of the first businesses that we've had together.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I came in with my ideas all the time, always thinking about something. And we'll definitely dive into that.
Yeah.
All the different businesses, but you're absolutely correct. Herbalife came in and we started doing shakes and vitamins and trying to find something to fix.
Yeah.
I was physically. My job at the time was my workout. I was out 10, 12 hours a day, lifting boxes in and out of vehicles. So that was a workout.
Plus there was a gym right next to you.
And next door was the LA Fitness. And I went and got a membership there because I had this gap in the middle of the day. It was like, well, instead of sitting here in the lunchroom, let me go work out. Mm-hmm. And that actually did a lot for me and made me go back to my military, days and being more active. But I never pushed that on you.
No.
Like, hey, I'm working out.
Nah.
What the fuck are you doing?
No. But I'll be very honest. I seen you working out. I seen you going hard. And I was like, oh, wait, hold up. He's not about to be looking all sexy. And I'm over here feeling bad about myself because I look a certain way and I'm used to looking a different way. I said, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to work out just as hard, and like, why not? If he let's do this. And another thing, Tommy's younger than me, so
yes.
So I felt like, this young buck, but I tell him all the time, you keep me young, especially in working out. I go just as hard as anybody else in the gym. I love it. But you were an inspiration. And I will say definitely you showed me and you didn't tell me. And that's what made me want to do it more because I was inspired. You were working out. You were coming back from the gym. I wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, might as well.
And again, you're like, what's going on? I want to do something different. He's doing something different. I've never said anything about it. And then all of a sudden we started working out together, right? Now I'm going to say part of it was, I'm like, it's cool having somebody in the gym watching you while you're lifting, right? It's like bringing sand to the beach. I brought my sand to the beach, and if everybody is over there looking and I got this one girl looking at me, that's all I needed, right? So then now I got to impress you. So now I'm like, hey girl, this is how you use the machine. Let me lift this and do it like this and show you, be extra careful or whatever. I'm just being mad extra in the gym for no reason.
Definitely. You were back in those days, so it was fun.
Yeah, and then you're looking at me like, okay, like, all right. So we went from doing that like that again, we were individuals. We came together with like, all right, let's work out together. Let's commit to this. And that really helped us both get to the next level of where we wanted to be physically.
Right.
I seen you doing your thing, and then at the time you were in the medical industry, so you were like, "Hey, I'm really gonna dive all the way in, and now it's gonna change what we eat."
Yeah, definitely.
And you came home and you started cooking differently, and because of where we're from, like typically everything is either out of a box or it's fast, or especially in our culture,
right.
It's fried.
Right. Well, especially back in our days, we had 4 children. So, we still have 4 kids. But when they were younger.
Nothing happened to the 4. They're still there. But
we just don't have to cook for them anymore.
Exactly.
It's sometimes, right? Yeah. But yeah, we definitely did things quicker. We made food that was quick, easy. A lot of fast food.
Yeah. And it sucks in our culture, right? It's like our parents raised us like that. We grew up like that. That's what our culture understands. That's all we know. Me being from Queens, you being from Los Angeles, two different coasts, right? East, West coast. And still we had the same upbringing.
Right.
Like
right.
we ate the same things, because just in our culture, eating healthy is very difficult. And even where we're from, it's very difficult to find healthy food. So we had to start going into communities outside of our what we were familiar with to get those things that wanted to make us feel better.
Yeah, definitely. And being in the medical field, as I learned more, like they say, when you know better, you do better, right? And I start to learn different things. And I don't know about you, but whenever I hear about different things that could happen, I always put myself into it. So if I'm learning about hypertension, then I'm like, oh no, I hope I don't have hypertension. I'm learning about diabetes. I'm like, okay, so what do we have to do not to get this? So it's kind of like you project yourself into whatever you're learning, and then you say, okay, how can we stop this? And then you educate yourself. And then, like you said, you see the reason hypertension may run in my family is because we like salt, we like seasoning, and that's what we said. We're like, oh man, our people are dying over seasoning,
over flavor.
Yeah, over flavor. Yes. So my mama seasoned it this way, my daddy seasoned it this way, his mama seasoned it that way, his mama's mama seasoned it that way, and that's just the way it is. And we all have hypertension because of it,
Exactly.
And that's just the way it goes. But my mom always made that double caramel chocolate cake, and then her mama made it, and there's just like a whole line of us that had this, and now we all have diabetes, and it's just a tradition that we've passed down unknowingly.
Yeah. So when we talk about physical health, we're talking about the way we eat and the lack of exercise, and because of where we're from, it's difficult. And then trying to educate our kids on it, right? Like you said, we got 4 kids.
Yes.
We're a blended family. Yeah. Daneyel has two older daughters when we met, and then I had a son and a baby girl on the way. So you're educating your children. You're telling them that, we raised you this way, but now we're changing midstream because all of a sudden we had this epiphany.
Yes.
And now they're looking at the food like, what the fuck is this?
Oh man, that was hilarious. When they'd have friends over, they'd say, I'm sorry, our parents are eating healthy, so we have to eat carrot sticks, or we don't have real chips, we have kettle chips.
All this what's this fancy bullshit? It was, but at the end of the day, we're trying to educate, we're trying to do different, we're trying to be what we seen in our heads, right? It's like all right, we want to be here on this earth a little longer than what's expected.
Yeah. And if we're going to be here on this earth longer than expected, then we want to be healthy. We don't want to be ran down. And another thing Tommy always says is we should limit our intake, like say fried food or even sugar, so that before someone tells us, the doctor tells us that we can't have it at all. So it's like, okay, let's stop this or limit it before someone says you can't do this never again.
Facts. I don't want a doctor to tell me I can't. It's like being a damn child all over again, right? It's like, hey, don't eat that chicken.
Yeah. No more fried chicken for you.
It's it. That's
it. Yeah.
We don't eat pork chops, but back in the days when we did eat a pork chop, I couldn't imagine. You can't eat a fried pork chop no more.
Yeah.
So just being mindful of, the changes in life and how we grew into that change together, right? Like, you could have said, I don't want to work out. I'm comfortable with the way I am. And if you don't like it, then all well.
Right.
But you didn't. No. You were like, you know what? Well, yeah, I do want my own thing, right? And it was perfectly fine to do your own thing, and I was doing my own thing. And then together we came together, right? So then we went from working out together, and then you got frustrated with me because I was trying to
I was going to say, let's go to there. Yeah, because you would be, you became sort of my personal trainer, and
unqualified.
Oh my gosh, he got on my nerves. It was, oh babe, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm here. Oh, and the greatest thing, you should do it faster. Do it faster. I am doing it. I'm doing 10 push-ups. You should do 10 push-ups faster. No. And then I'm like, you know what? You go to the gym or you go over there, and then I'm going to come over here. And he's like, no, but I want us to do it together. I'm like, all right. So then we joined classes, and that made it way better.
Much easier. Because then I didn't have to be the cool guy no more. The guy in the front was the cool guy, and we all followed the guy in the front. Or the girl. It don't matter who was ever in the front, we followed.
You didn't have to be the bad guy either, right? Because
exactly.
the guy in the front or the girl in the front was the bad guy that was like, all right, you're not doing this right. You need to do this, that. Because when you told me, it was like, okay, babe, thank you, whatever. Like, let me exercise. And he told me, was like, oh, okay, I should be doing this. And I just got hooked.
And then I just smile and laugh. I don't think she's doing it right. But, it is what it is. But, and the trip is that journey, from starting to work out and just being doing our own workouts, both of us kind of went into two different worlds at the same time, right? Because we were working out really tough. And then all of a sudden you just went, I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go work out. And I was like, oh shit. All right, I ain't about that.
It became a lifestyle change for me. Definitely. I really fell in love with working out. I fell in love with kettlebells. And then the class that I was taking, the trainer was awesome. And 6 o'clock in the morning, it ended up being a great time for me. I like to get up early anyways. And I loved working out early, getting it out the way. And then 6 o'clock, by 8 o'clock, I'm at work, 8:30, and the workout is already behind me and I have the whole day. So I was in love with that. I was working out maybe 6 days a week at that time, and the gym was right around the corner. So that was also easy. It was just go straight to the gym, and it became very much a habit.
And then from there, like, because you started getting stronger, you started losing weight, you kind of got to an area of where you start hitting goals, right?
Yes.
It's like, or even, I don't even think we had goals in the beginning. It was just like, let's just do something. Yeah. And I think that's kind of a thing where some of us are caught up in like, well, I like the way I look, or I feel, I don't want to look like this person, and that's never the thing that we ever want to approach or put out. It's not about looking a certain way or looking like anybody else, but it's just about feeling good or just being active.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
And we felt good, and honestly, I felt younger. You just said it, I am a tidbit younger than you, yes, but I felt even more younger. And then hanging out with the kids felt real good, and rolling around on the floor with them. So it was just the change in life altogether.
Right.
And so, like I was saying, your journey went into yoga. Like you start, you was like, well, I need a stretch. I need it because I'm feeling sore. And me, I'm just like, I like the way I feel all the time. So talk because that opened us into literally us into a whole different world.
Yes.
Like from and breath and how like everything changed.
Our mental health changed everything. From when I first got into yoga, I had this epiphany. I said, I'm going to be a happy person all of a sudden, as I don't know, I grew up kind of angry and attitudinal and, always defensive. And I didn't know any of this, honestly, until I took yoga, and I actually became a yoga teacher. And once I got more into yoga, I started to see differences inside myself mentally, but that's a whole nother story. But as far as physically, I started going to yoga because I was working out so hard, and my muscles I was literally sore every single day. And a friend would go straight from working out to yoga. And I'm like, well, you're going to yoga all sweaty? And she's like, well, it's hot yoga. And, I'm going to get sweaty anyways. And I'm going to work out. It feels amazing afterwards. And I'm like, all right, let me go check this out and see what this is all about. And from that first class, I was hooked because I felt amazing afterwards. And mentally, with that's what I wasn't really aware of or even knew much about, the mental part of yoga, but that took me to a different space, a different place, and it was amazing. But the stretching and the moving of my body was a whole nother thing, and it just blew me away. I was able to do different things with my body, and Tommy will always say, "You're yoga strong." That's why you could do a handstand, or you could do.
Oh my gosh, it's impressive. And like, shout out to everybody that does yoga. Like, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's a skill, but it's super simple to learn, and I really got into it because of that. And I really got into teaching to be able to show people who think that they can't do these like poses. They say, "Oh, those poses are so hard," or it's like, no, 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 no. Everyone can do them. Anyone can do them. Not only that, but each pose has a health benefit, which is awesome as well. And it helps you in some way or another. So getting into the like meat of yoga was really, really cool.
That's very true. Because my first yoga experience, I was probably an embarrassment. Like, we had to walk out the class. That's
OMG. Yeah, the first one was. Yeah. Well, we went we went to a class that was in like what was it?
It was at a gym downtown.
Fitness, 24 hours, something like that, and it like a big class, and they were doing breathing techniques, and we knew nothing about breathing techniques, and these people are taking big, huge breaths in and blowing them out with an open mouth, and we were looking around. Tommy busted up into like laughter. Oh my goodness, and it was so embarrassing.
We had to leave. It was a free class too.
I left. I left. I was embarrassed.
But so and it's not like we've been on this physical journey as far as our health goes, like consistently on as far as where we wanted to be, because we fell off the wagon a few times. It was like you're inconsistent, or work changes, life changes, kids have things going on.
Right.
At some point we were running kids to 4 different locations.
Right.
We had 2 in high school. We had
one in middle school,
one in middle school, one in elementary school. Everybody had something going on.
We had the 2 older girls played softball. They were on 2 different teams. Our younger ones were football and cheer on 2 different teams, which means they had practices at 2 different times and at different parks. So we had to get really creative in that. So
yeah, and then so that took away from our workout routine, right? So it was like, all right, yes, we our intentions is let's be physical. So now our children are being active, which was great. But then it took away from us because we became super busy like every other parent, right? Yeah. So as a parent, you're like, all right, well, I don't have the time to work out because I'm running children around. Or right after work, I got to do this. Now, of course, we went through a pandemic and that was different. But even still, it's very difficult. It was hard, and we did fall off that wagon. So we started working out at home, and we're watching infomercials in the middle of the night trying to get the next best workout routine, and just trying to do something, right? It's like at least do something, and that's where we were at that time. And so it's never a bad thing to fall off the wagon, right? It's like, you know what, as long as I'm gonna try harder. That's all it is. Yep. If I can't do it at 6:00 p.m. every single day, I'm gonna try harder to let me do it at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? Yeah.
And then it's important to do just a little bit at a time, right? You don't have to get out there and then just run a whole mile your first day. Like, I ran 1 block. I barely even ran that block. I kind of walk around the block, right? Until finally I was like clocking, okay, here I'm at a mile now. Now I'll actually record my time. I didn't want to record anything. In the beginning when I started working out, I never want to record anything, but that Tommy does. He likes to measure and record, and so that's just a little different, and it actually does push me more. But in the beginning, I just want to do it. I'm here to run, and that's it. Now, once I get better, we can start recording it. We can start measuring. We can start getting there.
I always want to be supportive. That's my way of being supportive. Like, hey, did you know that it took you 15 minutes the first time? Maybe we should shorten that the next time.
And I'm like, did you know I finished?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
But it's always trying to be encouraging, right?
Yes, definitely.
It's hard. Working out is hard. Working out with your spouse is hard. Your significant other, and whoever it is, because at the end of the day, I don't want to judge you, and then I don't want to be judged. Right. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna still be the individual of who I am, the way I want to do it, but to have a partner in it is cool.
Yes. And like you say, we have to meet each other like kind of halfway, right? It's like hiking. We both like to hike, but Tommy likes to hike a different way. Tommy likes to hike fast, and he likes to time the hike, and I like to hike with a latte or some snacks in my bag. So when I get to the top of the hike,
or a bottle of wine, so we could Stop at the peak and, and take a
have
sip.
Some wine and have some cheese. And then we loungily walk back down the hill, you know? I mean, we're hiking to nothing. Like halfway through the hike, I'm like, there's nothing up there when we get up there except for the top of the hill. And that's it.
The goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
The goal is to go nowhere.
The goal is not to get there and drink a bottle.
That's the goal. Now that's a goal. When I get to the top, I get a bottle. That's nice. Or I get to finish my latte.
No, okay, yeah. So I still, you know, as a partner in this, and that's one thing is like we're friends first. That's where we came from. Is we were good friends first, and I will consider that in everything that we've always do is like
friends
all right,
first
is how would I treat my friend in this, right? Because you know I don't want to ever take advantage of my wife. So how will my friend feel about this partnership and working out? You know, when I go to the gym, if I go to the gym with one of my homies, I ain't gonna be on them like, hey, you doing it wrong, homie. Like, get them legs open better, like, or I'm not gonna do that,
right?
So why should I? And I did that, and it's like, oh, that's not cool, right? So keeping that in mind, and you know, having a partner in all the things that we do, it's always been a great journey, and I appreciate it. From a eating standpoint, from a physical standpoint, and then even down to educating and helping other people out, you know, right? Because people ask, well, how do you help? How do you work out with your spouse? Because my spouse don't want to do it. Like, so imagine those that don't have a partner, or either you don't have a partner or you have a partner that don't want to do anything.
Right.
You know, how difficult that can be.
Right.
Because you're like, well, I want to change, or I want to look a certain way, but I'm not getting the support. Like that's a little difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Yeah, we have lots of friends that have gone through that, and we just encourage them to, like we said in the beginning, Tommy never forced me, never even said, hey, I think you should work out. He just started. And I think that if you have a partner that has no interest in working out at all, like I don't, at this point in my life, I don't love to work out. And that's something that we joke about all the time. And Simon's like, some people love to be in the gym. And I'm like, well, I don't love to be in the gym anymore. I feel like,
have to do it.
Yeah, I feel like it's an hour and that's it. Like this is an hour and I'm going to give my all and then I'm done. Like, I don't want to work out anymore. So he'll say, let's go walk on the beach. Oh no, I did my hour already.
That's exactly how she says it too. Monday through Friday, 1 hour. I'm like, we got like this free space. Let's go to the beach and walk. You're like, we go to the beach and have some ice cream.
Yeah, like I'll walk with ice cream. But definitely me watching him and kind of just seeing him work out consistently sparked it inside of me. So if you do have a partner and you desire to work out and you desire for them to work out, I'm telling you, nagging them is not going to make it happen. Because if he was to consistently talk about like how my weight or how I looked or how he wanted me to look, then it would have been different. Instead, he inspired me, as my friend and also as my husband, to do better and to want to do better. And I do appreciate that.
All right, gratitude, and respect that.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, and that's all I strive to do as well. And because I understand, because in the same way when you went into yoga, I was like, oh man, like that's your world. Go have fun in it. You would invite me to classes, and I'll come to the classes, and I was like, all right, well, I'm the token husband in this yoga class. And then it'd be another dude there. And I'm like, what's up, bro?
He's like, my wife's over there.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you had all these little yoga husbands that you're like, oh, I know him. And I know him. I'm like, oh, and these guys are impressive. but you know, I was like never jealous. I've never had any. I'm like, yo, y'all can have her for an hour. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, yoga was different. And you were my only student a couple of times when I was first learning how to teach classes.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, why am I sweating? Like, I thought this was a slow vinyasa flow, and I thought we were stretching, and now my shoulders are shaking. Yeah. My legs, I'm like, I got a cramp in my toe. Like, yoga's no punk. Yoga is no punk, and people that do like yoga, mad respect. Like, it's dope, but everybody can do it Everybody could get active. Everybody could. Every couple could do something, and you don't have to do it together.
No,
you could do it individually. You could do it supporting each other. Like no matter what it is, it's the opportunity is there for everybody. It's just you have to want it. And now even going through the pandemic, right, and working, we're working from home. We're working out at home. Shout out to our trainer, Corey Butts, who from Be More Fit was sending us text messages every day. This is the workout.
Yep. And we would do them outside on our patio, on our outside patio, I don't know, and we would just work out. It was not easy workouts. They were still an hour long. It was a little bit harder because we had to motivate ourselves to keep it going, turn on our music, which I like. I like different type of workout music, and Tommy likes people yelling at us, motivating us, I guess it's called.
It's the military thing. I'm used to people yelling at me to make me go faster, harder, whatever the case is. It works for me. So the kids come outside and they're like, "Who's yelling at y'all?" Like, oh, it's probably Eric Thomas on the, like whoever. But yeah, you're absolutely correct.
And it kept us going during this pandemic and through it all. And we do things that make it fun, like the Tommy and Danny challenge that we have right now.
Yeah, and the Tommy and Danny challenge actually is the Danny Tommy challenge. That's what. So we got to make sure we say it right. Danny Tommy challenge.
Oh, it's Danny Tommy. I thought it was Tommy Danny challenge.
No, it's the Danny Tommy challenge. And because you decided that you physically, like, again, it's not about being a certain way, but you wanted to look a certain way. And I was like, all right, well, that's cool if that's what you want. So let's do this challenge. Like let's change everything.
Yeah.
Let's eat better. Like let's only eat between these hours.
Right.
Let's go harder at the gym.
Right. So what Tommy is saying but not saying is, yes, I want it to look different. I'm getting a little bit older and working out now. It's a slow roll to how I want to look. So I was thinking of doing something cosmetically, to be quite honest. And I started looking at different options and contacting friends who have gone through these procedures. And then Tommy's like, "Wait, babe, before you do any of that, let's do this." And I was like, "No, I don't. I think I want to do something different." He's like, "Okay, let's have a friendly little competition and let's involve the public and get everyone going, and let's see how this goes." And we did. He opened it up. We did measurements. We took pictures. We posted them, or he posted them on Facebook, which really puts a lot of pressure on you. Because then everyone you see who's seen it is like, "Where are your inches? And what are you eating? And what's going on?" And
exactly. And thank you for the supporters that's trying to take inches from Daneyel. Like all the Team Danny people is like, "Oh, I'll eat that to take the inches away." Love you. It's great. But you're absolutely correct. Like you were looking at all these different other options, and I don't want to call it a quick fix because there's nothing wrong with it. But like you said, when you get to a certain age, things just don't work as fast, and you have to work harder. So yes, absolutely. I was like, well, before we try that, let's try this.
Right.
And right now, we'll see what happens. But I feel like it's working out. And again, that comes from that supportive role and trying to be a part of. You're still an individual. At the end of the day, you still have things and goals that you want, but within a unit, I have to play some type of a supportive role, and this was my supportive role. It's like, well, shoot, let me get on it and let me lose some inches.
Yes.
Let me, let me look at some products and stuff like that. I was like, nah, it's not gonna work for me.
Yeah, because at first I almost had him over to my side. He's like, "Okay, babe, well, you go ahead and get it done, and then we'll see what that does, and then I'll get it done."
I was like, hell no. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it.
I was like, yes,
I will do 10 more push-ups, 4 more burpees, whatever it takes. So now we have the Danny Tommy challenge. It's 60 days long. And every week, we just gonna get at it. So if you want to be a part of any challenge, just definitely reach out. And again, we're supportive. We're here to help, and that's our entire agenda. That's our intentions is whatever we could do to help people out. And even in this podcast, that's what it's all about. So I'm glad that we had this opportunity to talk with everybody. I love you.
I love you.
And hopefully, we continue to overcome the fears and the boundaries in this journey, and against all odds. As we always say, it's you and me against the world, huh?
That's right. That's right. Thank you for joining us. This is Tommy and Danny with Lyfe and Shyt.
Lyfe and Shyt.